Visitors to the Fort Myers River District will soon be able to travel in both directions along 1st Street, 2nd Street, and Seaboard Street. Let's take a drive through the city of Fort Myers 1st and 2nd Streets conversion from one-way to two-way streets. We'll start our drive on Palm Beach Boulevard, head west on 1st Street to the intersection with Fowler Street, then south on Fowler Street to 2nd Street, then east along 2nd Street back to Palm Beach Boulevard and Seaboard Street. At the Palm Beach Boulevard and Seaboard Street intersection, westbound motorists traveling from East Fort Myers may choose to turn south onto Seaboard Street to access 2nd Street, turn north to access East Riverside Drive, or continue west uninterrupted to 1st Street. Eastbound 1st Street motorists may turn left onto East Riverside Drive, turn right onto Seaboard Street to head to 2nd Street and downtown Fort Myers, or continue uninterrupted to East Fort Myers. Let's move ahead to the 1st Street and Park Avenue intersection. With the two-way traffic implementation, 1st Street motorists will be able to travel east and west on 1st Street or turn north onto Park Avenue toward North Fort Myers. Westbound 1st Street motorists will use one designated north turn lane onto Park Avenue and one shared lane for through traffic and northbound turns to North Fort Myers. Eastbound 1st Street motorists will use one designated through lane and one designated northbound turn lane to North Fort Myers. Park Avenue travel lanes to North Fort Myers will continue to remain northbound lanes, including a shared westbound turn lane onto 1st Street. A shared eastbound turn lane will be added to access eastbound 1st Street. Heading further west along 1st Street to the intersection with Fowler Street, westbound 1st Street motorists will use one designated through lane to access downtown and one designated southbound turn lane onto Fowler Street. Eastbound 1st Street motorists will share one lane for through traffic and southbound turns onto Fowler Street. All Fowler Street travel lanes from North Fort Myers will remain southbound lanes, including a shared westbound turn lane. A shared eastbound turn lane will be added to access eastbound 1st Street. Now let's turn south to look at the intersection of 2nd Street and Fowler Street. All Fowler Street travel lanes from North Fort Myers will remain southbound lanes with one designated eastbound turn lane and one shared westbound turn lane onto 2nd Street. Westbound 2nd Street motorists will use one designated through lane and one designated southbound turn lane onto Fowler Street. Eastbound 2nd Street motorists approaching from downtown will continue to use one designated through lane and one designated southbound turn lane onto Fowler Street. As we travel further east along 2nd Street, note that a center turn lane is available to accommodate left turns onto side streets and driveways between Fowler Street and Park Avenue. At the 2nd Street and Park Avenue intersection, 2nd Street motorists will be able to travel east and west or turn north onto Park Avenue toward North Fort Myers. Westbound 2nd Street motorists will use one designated through lane and one designated northbound turn lane onto Park Avenue. Eastbound 2nd Street motorists will use one designated through lane and one designated northbound turn lane onto Park Avenue. Park Avenue travel lanes to North Fort Myers will remain northbound lanes, including a shared eastbound turn lane onto 2nd Street. A shared westbound turn lane will be added to access westbound 2nd Street. One change to note at the smaller intersection of 2nd Street and Palm Avenue is the addition of a designated southbound turn lane onto Palm Avenue toward Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and one shared use lane for through and northbound turns onto Palm Avenue toward the Dean Park Historic District. Let's look at the intersection of Seaboard Street and Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue will remain in a two-way travel pattern. Seaboard Street historically has been part of the eastbound one-way pair system after the curve from 2nd Street. However, Seaboard Street will also become a two-way street. After the curve from 2nd Street, Seaboard Street turns northeast. Motorists traveling northeast on Seaboard Street will share one lane for through traffic and eastbound or westbound turns onto Michigan Avenue. Motorists traveling southwest on Seaboard Street will share one lane for through traffic and eastbound or westbound turns onto Michigan Avenue. Continuing along Seaboard Street and back to the intersection with Palm Beach Boulevard, Seaboard Street motorists may veer east uninterrupted toward East Fort Myers or head north to the intersection to access East Riverside Drive or return to downtown Fort Myers via First Street. This conversion of 1st and 2nd Street corridors from one-way to two-way streets will improve neighborhood safety, including lower speed limits, simplifying access points, and add to downtown evacuation routes in case of hurricanes or other emergencies.